All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Guys, Bitcoin is dumping, and we are seeing a pretty big bearish engulfing candle on the day. We talked about how, yes, 62K is possible. That was that key market structure break in order to really become more bullish with those bullish signals that we were seeing. But I did talk about yesterday in the video that the more probable scenario for me was to complete a 5-wave move to the downside to take out those lows at $58,000 and to finally hit our box of support between $57,900 and $56,000. And it looks like we are dumping today, but guys, we are seeing some very concerning things on the chart. So first off, let me welcome everybody in. Thank you guys all so much for being there here. I hope you're having a good Tuesday. I hope you guys are trading safe out there. Yeshwant, thank you for tuning in from India. Much love to you as always. Crypto Wanderer 5813, good afternoon to you. Thank you for smashing the like button. Yes, guys, please do smash the like button on your way in. Please do subscribe to the channel, share the video, and I appreciate all the support from all of you guys. R Pink, much love to you, man. Thank you for modding for me, and thank you for always doing such a good job on it. Kara, welcome in. Medium-term bottom is coming. Yeah, I agree. That's why yesterday in my video, I showed a lot of high time frame and medium time frame bullish signals that are coming. I really wanted to take out that $58,000 low before seeing that that big kind of swing long opportunity that could give us a move all the way up into the mid-70s. But you know, time-wise, as far as the 4-year cycle goes, we still have some time, October, November. But price-wise, this could be an area where we do start to see accumulation. At the bottom of these macro bearish pitchforks and at the bottom of our macro bullish pitchfork, this could be the area where we do start to see a bottom. But price-wise, not time-wise. Now, I want to talk about this pitchfork in a second, but let me finish welcoming everyone in. Teal House Coffee and Bakery, what's up, man? Thank you so much for being here. TXRX, hello to you. Little Rich, what's up, man? No, thank you for tuning in. Mr. Rekachun, much love to you, man. I hope you're doing good. Falcos Forge, thank you so much for being here. Kip Corn Sheriff, I love that name, Kip Corn Sheriff. Lower, yeah, it does look like lower to me, guys. It does. Tracer HDX, 0. Maybe not 0, but maybe like $10. How's that sound? Dylan Wadia, much love to you as well. Thank you guys all for being here. Thank you for tuning in. So, right away, while we're here, I want to talk about this multi-cycle pitchfork. And what I talked about a couple weeks ago is we really need to hold the base of this pitchfork, or else we could see a drop into the low 40s, you know, low 40s, high 30s. This is very crucial support. We have a naked monthly point of control. We have a daily here. We also have naked weekly point of control. And it's your non-log golden pocket, but I don't really pay attention too much to the non-log golden pocket, because if you pull a golden pocket from the bear market low to the all-time high and you put on your regular golden pocket, that's not a proper 61.8% retracement, which we know is the psychological percentage that or ratio that is ingrained in the human subconsciousness. So, but a lot of people will still be paying attention to the non-log golden pocket, you know, because they don't know about the psychological aspect of the 618 golden Fibonacci ratio. But this is crucial support nonetheless. You can see this is our multi-cycle pitchfork, which has been very, very highly respected this entire bull market, you know, flipping the lower band from resistance into support, then working your way up to the midline, which was your 2024 all-time high. After rejecting at the midline, you come back to the lower band. You break above, you see a failed auction at the beginning of 2025, and then you see that distribution at the midline towards the end of 2025. And for 2026, we've just been working our way down through this pitchfork. And you can see that crucial rejection that we saw at $82,800 was literally like a perfect to the dollar backtest of our pitchfork band. We have now finally come to the bottom. But let me go on to the, and a couple weeks ago when we hit the bottom, I think that was last week, I talked about how what is going to be concerning to me is if we start to close weekly candles below this pitchfork. Sure, could we chop around below it a little bit, maybe see a little bit of a range form between the bottom of the pitchfork and this support level between like 56 and 57.9. But let's go on to the daily chart. And on the daily chart, you can see that we had been trying to pierce the bottom of the pitchfork. It's been holding as support so far, but we are now piercing it multiple times. And each time you pierce it, think of it like a piece of paper. You're poking a hole in that piece of paper, and that support is getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And eventually it's just going to break. And so we are seeing 4 pierces on the daily time frame of that pitchfork already. And today we are seeing this big bearish engulfing candle to maybe close the first daily candle below the pitchfork, which would be kind of a pretty bearish sign for me. Now, if we close the daily candle below the pitchfork and then we bounce from our support zone and instantly reclaim it the next day, I would actually see that as pretty bullish because we do have those high time frame bull divs. You can see higher lows on the momentum waves, lower lows on the price action. We have them confirmed on NAMI as well. We have the money flow confirmed on NAMI, money flow bull divs confirmed on NAMI, and then even more locally on NAMI because it's much quicker. We already have one drive of local daily bull divs, and then if we make another new low today and we get another local drive of bull divs, this is setting up very, very nicely for a bigger reversal to the upside. But that is if and only if our support zone between $57,900 and about $56,000 can hold. If this zone just below doesn't hold, then I'm going to be looking for, you know, maybe a bounce from the low 50s, but to come back up, back test it, and then see continuation down in the bear market, like pretty aggressive continuation down in the bear market, because we do not have much inside of this big gap in here that is going to keep us. We have a couple levels of liquidity that could act as some catalysts for moves to the upside. But there is not a lot to keep us from pushing down pretty aggressively if this zone of support does not hold. Now, I want to go in on the lower time frames because today has been actually a bit concerning for me. And I've talked about this in the Telegram. If you guys are in the Telegram, I've been updating you guys all day on what's happening here. But we dropped early this morning. You can see we dropped and to $58,120, which we had front run the SFP of $58,000 only by $120. We had front run it. Then we saw a big move to the upside come market open. By the way, right when we started to reject from this VWAP, I told you guys, hey, if we reject from this VWAP, I expect to see another new low and probably come down to 57.9. Well, we did come down. We did make another low, but we just SFP'd this morning's low. And we still haven't SFP'd the $58,000 low. Now, someone in my Telegram asked me, Divine Hood, what do you mean it's a bad omen to see front runs of the SFP? When you see it, a front run of an SFP followed by a dead cat bounce, that makes it far less likely that the SFP is going to actually play out the next time it comes down. And we have now seen 2 front runs today of the overall $58,000 low SFP. And once again, we are seeing another little bounce to the upside here, guys. We are seeing another little bounce. If we see another rejection, then I would expect another new local low to come in. And at this point, I mean, gosh, if we don't take out $58,000, and I would really like to hit that naked monthly at $57,900. But we are also seeing bearish signs on the chart. So if we go to our order flow here real quick, and I want to point this out to you guys. So from the, I guess it was, let's see, a little bit more locally. We were seeing it earlier today as we were making that rejection from the VWAP to this high here. You can see our CVD was increasing slightly, but it was increasing, and it was on an increase in open interest. So we are seeing some bearish CVD divergences, bearish absorption actually on the charts right before our liquidity grab, our major liquidity grab of $58,000. We are seeing a lot of longs starting to open up here. If you look at from this morning's low, very, very early this morning, at least where I'm at in the world, we have primarily had longs opening up, and they are fresh long positions. So your CVD is market longs or market shorts. So if your CVD is increasing here, that means longs are stepping in, and you can see overall, it's new long positions that are stepping in, but they're stepping in prematurely before grabbing that liquidity or before hitting that support level. And these long positions are not really able to push the price of Bitcoin to break market structure bullishly. You can still see we're making lower highs and lower lows here. So this is a bad omen for the bulls. They're prematurely longing. They are not able to push the price up. And we are seeing some bearish absorption right now occur. And this bearish absorption at the very least could make us take out all of our local lows and our $58,000 low. But because of what we're seeing at the front run of a major liquidity grab, this thing might just shoot down pretty aggressively down into like the $56,000 zone. I'm still looking to long the SFP into the naked monthly if we get that. Like, that is the primary setup. If I could have this play out the way I would want it to, which it usually doesn't play out this way, but I would like to see us take those lows, hit the naked monthly point of control, reclaim those lows, and then I would look for that long position. Stop would go below wherever that liquidity wick or that wick was, and I would be targeting, you know, much higher levels on the chart. It would give us a super nice risk to reward ratio. So I will attempt that SFP if we get that. Even if, guys, and I will protect position quickly because of the bearish CVD absorption we're seeing, but say we come down, we SFP, we hit into the naked monthly, we get back above. As soon as we get back above, I will enter the long position. My stop will go below the wick. Say we come up to VWAP and we reject VWAP again. Well, that is still almost a 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio trade. So if we start rejecting VWAP, I'll take out 50% of the trade. I'll move my stop loss to break even. And then say if we, after rejecting from VWAP a second time, we come down and crash down as 56, I'll start looking for longs in that zone. But I am now waiting. I'm being patient here, and I am not taking any long positions with the bearish absorption we are seeing on the charts. I am not taking any long positions until we take out the liquidity at $58,000. And this just does not look good to me, guys. This is really scary. The way we are front running these levels is really scary. But let's talk about overall. This is on lower time frames. This is kind of for today, you know, the intraday trading, the intra-week trading. But as far as our more macro time frame analysis, like I pointed out in yesterday's video, we're coming into very macro key support. Our anchored VWAP from the bear market lows, naked monthly point of control. We also have a naked weekly point of control there. We have some daily levels. So naked weekly is pretty much exactly 57.9. We have that naked, we have a daily level at 57.350. And then, of course, the major value area low coming in at $56,000. We also have our wave 5 target. So if we're looking at this dump down that we've been seeing for the rejection from 67.2, wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, and then now we're seeing that fifth and final wave to the downside. Well, our wave 5 targets, you take those targets by going from the lows of 4 to the highs of 4. You put on the 1.236 trend-based Fibonacci expansion target, and you put on your 1.618 Fibonacci expansion target, and you can see that this zone between 57,330, which is right where your daily is at, you can see your daily is right on top of that 1.236, and then our 1.618 is pretty much right on top of the value area low of our 2-year long range. So could we see a dump? No longer an SFP into a naked monthly, but we go a little bit lower and either bounce from that 1.236 or go a little bit lower and bounce from that 1.618 and value area low. And that would finish, guys, that would finish this overall final impulse to the downside, which could be finishing a bigger 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse to the downside. And then it even could be finishing a more macro structure to the downside. So what I am going to be looking at, because we are seeing some pretty good macro bullish signs on the chart. Bull divs on the daily time frame. You can see they're confirmed on both Market Cipher and NAMI. NAMI's even got local bull divs confirmed. It's got money flow bull divs confirmed. If we look at the 8-hour time frame, on the 8-hour time frame, we now we have bull divs between the $59,000 lows and the $58,000 lows. But if we make another new local low here, you could see we would have even local bull divs, and then you have your regional bull divs. You have your money flow overall curving to the upside on the 8-hour. That is pretty good looking on Market Cipher. And then on NAMI, you can see we have those regional bull divs, and then we have the local bull divs on the 8-hour. We have also the money flow bull divs here. So we are seeing some pretty good medium to high time frame bullish signals that Bitcoin could get a bigger bounce and a bigger reversal from this box of support. But if we do see capitulation, guys, literally this is do or die for the bulls. If we do not see a bounce in this coming up zone that we're pretty much in right now, major pitchfork supports, multiple pitchfork support levels. If we do not see the bounce here, we could see true capitulation to the downside. Another capitulation that was very, very similar to the capitulation that we saw in here, or even compared to the capitulation we saw in here. So we really need the bulls to step in. We are seeing some really nice technical signals that the bulls could be about to step in here. But we have, concerning signs on the chart. The bearish absorption we're seeing on low time frames right now. The front run of the liquidity grab all day long. And if we zoom in onto the 15-minute chart, like this to me is just, we're seeing a very similar lower, your low, a slightly higher low, a slightly higher low, a slightly higher low. You're kind of forming this 15-minute kind of trend in here, where if you start to break this to the downside, then I would suspect that we are going to flush all of that liquidity and take $58,000. But also at the same time, if we bounce before and start to move up and break above your VWAP, that's going to be very bearish, because that means the next time we come down, we're probably going to see that failed swing failure pattern liquidity grab. What's up, guys? Welcome in, everybody. Let's see, where was I? If you get a chance later, Uniswap whales are accumulating around long-term support. Yeah, we can check Uniswap, man. Absolutely, Mr. Ekachun. Much love to you, man. Crypto Clan World, what's up, my friend? Good to see you, as always. Rajna, Jay, sign, good. God bless you as well, and thank you for joining. It's been a while since I've seen you, so it's glad to see you here, man. Stefan Dingus, welcome in. Divine Hood, last cycle, the price went straight to the macro 0.66, which is around 53K, trapping the 618 longs. Well, Dylan, I understand what you're saying there, but once again, the macro 0.66, the actual macro 0.66, which a 0.66 is that means a 66% retracement of the move. So let me just go on to a cleaner chart. Let me go on to the index chart. And if we look at, and by the way, guys, look at the rejection here. I'll show you that in just a second. We rejected the back test of the channel perfectly. And that was the channel that I showed you guys, the restructured new channel that I showed you guys in yesterday's video. We rejected today. We lost it this morning, back tested it perfectly, and now we're rejecting. After bearishly back testing it, you did make your new local low. So that trade played out perfectly. And I told you guys, if you do want to short this, I'm not shorting it, but it could be a good short to make a new local low. I let you guys know about that in the Telegram, and that was a 3-to-1 risk to reward ratio trade that would have already played out. This channel I showed you guys in yesterday's video, and it was pretty much just a restructuring of the old channel. The old channel was from last Friday we were looking at, is pulling it from the low to this higher low up to that original high. And we were seeing a lot of chop underneath the channel. So I didn't like the way that chop was forming. So I restructured that channel to make it like this from the low to the Sunday low up to still to that original first dead cat bounce high. But we lost it this morning with volume. We back tested it, and then we're now continuing to dump underneath it. What I wanted to talk about, Dylan, with your 0.66 Fibonacci retracement. Yes, a lot of people are looking to long the 618, that key psychological level. And it's a zone, right? Between the 618 and the 0.65 or the 0.66. But once again, you have to remember that trading is based off psychology. And that golden Fibonacci ratio is ingrained subconsciously and superconsciously into not only the minds of human, but all around in nature. You see it in the Earth's magnetic field. You see it in the way flowers are designed and grown. You see it everywhere. And if you pull that Fibonacci ratio from the lows to the highs, and you do not adjust for your log scale, because this is more than a 600% move to the upside. So you should be using a logarithmic chart. You can see very, very clearly, guys, that if we go from the all-time high to that 0.65 or 0.66, that is definitely not a 61% retrace, because if we take it from the bottom, that's more of like the 40% retrace, and this is 60%. So it's not the proper scale. You do not have the proper setting and scale on that. This is when it matters to really understand logarithmic scale and understand a proper psychological level. You have to click this setting, fibs based off log scale. And when you click that, you will see that it does shift your golden pocket to the proper 61.8% retracement, which happens to be at 34 to 32K. Now, if we turn on that 0.66, you can see that it's at 31.5, 31.6 really. Very important support resistance flip. It's the same zone, right? Same zone of support and resistance. Now, I do understand what you're saying, Dylan. If we look at, let's just do this on the non-log scale, we can put that to 0.66 and we can look at that 53,100. Yeah, you do have some liquidity that's coming right around there. That's this internal liquidity grab that's still important liquidity, guys, because on the macro time frame, you can see after this low was made, that is when we started our aggressive expansion to the upside. So a lot of swing traders that long that position or bought spot, they're going to be putting their stop losses below that low. So even though it's an internal liquidity grab, we still need to pay attention to it because there is going to be a lot of liquidity underneath that, a lot of stop losses, even on spot scale, that would probably sell if we start to lose that zone. Now, yeah, we'll see how, first we have to play this level to level. As traders, we play this level to level, right? And we are coming down to that support right now. I have alerts on, guys. Don't worry. I have alerts on 58. I have alerts on 57.9. 4-hour money flow is leaving aggressively again. And we are also invalidating the very local bull divs, but we could even be about to invalidate some more regional bull divs on the 4-hour. We really need this thing to dump pretty much now and then get back up and start to see that daily candle close. Let me go back to the Binance chart. I talked about the weekly candle close below the multi-cycle pitchfork. Well, first off, this is the 4-hour time frame, but look at where our pitchfork has been. We have wicked past it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, but I haven't even closed a 4-hour candle below the pitchfork. Today is the first time that we are actually opening and closing 4-hour candles below our pitchfork support. So that is a big worry for this support level ultimately to maybe, is this the day it starts breaking down? If we go on to the daily time frame, which is what really matters, the daily and the weekly time frame are what really matter for this high time frame pitchfork, you can see we've had 4 wicks through it on 4 days out of 5 days. This day obviously not being included, but now today is the first daily candle where we're threatening to close below it if we do not bounce before the end of the day and get back up inside of the pitchfork. The money flow on Market Cipher is also now leaving again, meaning that we could see continuation down here. We could see a big dump to the downside. And the fact that we're front running 58K again, I mean, it's just not looking good on an intraday basis here. On a higher time frame basis, I am still looking at that box of support between $57,900 and $56,000. Okay, let me go in on the lower time frames. I just want to see what's happening here. We're just kind of chopping within a little bit of a triangle right now. Unfortunately, a triangle is a continuation consolidation pattern, guys, and we dumped coming into the triangle. Dumped coming into the triangle, so we have a higher likelihood of dumping coming out of that triangle. Sometimes you see a fake out to grab liquidity of the top of the triangle before coming down. That is a tactic that market makers just did with XRP on the higher time frames. I showed you guys that the last few weeks. But okay, let me continue in the chat here. Monthly close under 60K might be meaningful. Yes, monthly close. That's right, guys. It is also the end of the month. Let me go to that. Look at that bearish monthly candle. Big ass bearish candle on the monthly chart. I want to go to the index chart for that. Man, that just does not look good, guys. We did see multiple drives from 2024 all-time high to the beginning of 2025 to the end of 2025. 3 drives of bear div, money flow draining out. You can see the bear div and then bear div again on NAMI, money flow draining out, multiple drives of money flow bear div on the monthly time frame. But let's say this. Let's now look, that's kind of in the past. That multiple months of bear div has played out with an over 50% drop to the downside, but NAMI is much faster to confirm than Market Cipher. Now let's look at NAMI on the monthly time frame. We have a big, at 60K, we had a big, deep momentum wave to the downside. It confirmed, we got back up to pretty much the zero line, and now we're dumping again. If we can hold support, even if we start to form a range in the next month at the bottom here, we could confirm some monthly bull divs. Now, guys, the last time we confirmed monthly bull divs, actually, these might not be monthly bull divs. If they're not bull divs, it's very, very close. We can pull that up full screen, actually, and check that out. Get rid of that. Yeah, very, very slightly. There was monthly bull divs here. The last time we confirmed monthly bull divs, we saw the end of the bear market, right? That was the end of the bear market. And then you get your new bull market. Let's see. In this area, monthly bull divs confirmed, new bull market, right? So we are setting up for potentially in the next month or two, seeing the end of the bear market, excuse me. But we need those monthly bull divs to confirm, and we've already created the lower low, below 59,000. We've hit 58,000. I would like to touch the anchored VWAP. We have not touched it on the index chart, and we have not touched it on the Coinbase chart. I'm just zooming in here, guys. I'm going to just watch this while I'm reading the chat here. Okay, Machi HK, the Bear Lord is here. What's up, Machi? Good to see you as always, Machi. What are you thinking on this? Are you thinking dump down straight now from the 40s, or are you thinking we get that bounce in the 50s first? And guys, even the bounce in the 50s, by the way, let's say we do bounce from $57,900 to $56,000. It doesn't mean the bear market's over. We could see something like a bounce from this big support level, this big green support box, just to see a move, maybe, you know, up towards the band, maybe taking some local high time frame liquidity, and then see a continuation of the bear market. We would also want to look at our last pretty much 5 months of rangy price action from the 60K lows. So if we throw on that volume profile, there we go. Yeah, you would be looking about a rejection of the fair value, right? You would come up to that fair value zone by the time we work our way up there, because it's not going to be a straight line up. It's probably going to be some zigzagginess. You would see that we would be rejecting from the POC at that band, taking some liquidity, and then potentially a move down. But still a move from, you know, 57, 56 all the way up to 67, that's still a decent swing trade in my opinion. It's still, you know what, a good, let's just do it from here. That is a good 15% move. And if we go from 56,000, that's still a nice, you know, pretty much 20% move to the upside. Okay, where was I? John, welcome in, John Shanks. Much love to you, Boondock Say. And I'm sorry, I shouldn't be doxing your name. I'm sorry, John. I'm sorry, Boondock Saint. Benny Blanco from the Bronx, welcome in and cheers to you. Chicken Salt, good morning. Wayne Rossi, what's up, man? What level is more respected, daily level or a monthly naked point of control? For sure, it's going to be the volume level of support. So the monthly naked point of control would be more respected generally. So Wayne Rossi, the two things that move the market the most are volume and liquidity. Actually, liquidity first and foremost, and then volume levels of support. So I would put more priority on the naked monthly point of control than on the daily level. But it doesn't mean that it's that way every single time. Because we keep front running that naked monthly point of control, it is less likely that we see a bounce from it, and we might just crash through it to hit that daily at 57,350. We'll have to kind of keep an eye on that. And yes, John, Boondock Saint, we can check Turbo when we get a chance. Turbo, we'll check, what was the other one? Mr. Rekachun wanted to look at that. Uniswap. Yes. Okay. Small time frames look like an Adam and Eve double bottom. Could get a little pump here. Yeah. You know what? If we do, we could get a little pump here, but in my opinion, that's just going to be more bearish. But yeah, you can see that Adam and Eve pattern. The big sharp followed by that kind of rounded. We could see a push up here. The fact that we're losing that channel that I pointed out to you guys yesterday, and look at, we're breaking up to VWAP. Let's see if we reject again from VWAP. Money flow does look good, and we did see some bull divs on the chart very locally. You can see on the 15-minute, lower lows in the price action, higher lows. You got the bull divs on both NAMI and Market Cipher B, and money flows pushing up. But I would really watch for another rejection of that VWAP. And if we do, we can look at our order flow. Let's see if we're getting another spike in our CVD here to make another drive of bearish divergence. We would have to get above, yeah, kind of this zone here. We would want to see the CVD getting higher as we're making lower highs here. And it looks like the Bybit VWAP is a bit higher. Bybit VWAP is 58,960-ish. Coinbase VWAP is going to be 58,760-ish, so $200 less. Remember, for me, Coinbase is the ultimate chart to look at those volume levels. And let's see if we just grab this liquidity and then fall back below. Grab liquidity, reject from VWAP, and then start to make that move down. Tiki Taku, welcome in, my man. 52K. Well, let's look at some of our levels. So obviously the big box is a whole zone, but within the box we have 57.3 and then like 56. Where is it? The 2-year long value area low at 56. And then we have the daily level at that 1.236 at 57,350-ish. We also have a weekly level here just below at 54, let's say 54.9, right? We have a fresh weekly level at 54.9. And then did we have any, no more naked weeklies? Yeah, and then really going down into the low 50s. We have that liquidity that's going to be at 52.5. And then we have more important liquidity at 49K. All we can do is wait for the reaction, guys. Once again, I know that we're starting to push up very locally here. I am not looking for longs until we start to take out that liquidity. And the fact that we're pushing up again before seeing that liquidity grab at 58K is not a bullish sign, in my opinion. Yeah, VWAP does look like we could get another rejection from VWAP. Sudeep, much love to you. Welcome in. Time Attack, much love to you. Thank you guys both for being here. Thank you for modding. Lost X, it's been a while, man. It's good to see you in here as well. Hope you're doing well with everything. Yeah, I do favor a bounce sooner rather than later. Time Attack, I have to agree with you on that. Let's see, though, you know. Solana, we can check Solana as well. Let me take a minute here to see how we react from this VWAP, and then we can go into some of the altcoins. Hype, guys, we did get a nice breakout on Hype, and then we're back. We're kind of seeing this nice move up and then this corrective channel type thing, and we're in the process of back testing that value area high. So if we can see that, you know, the breakup out of the channel, remember we were looking at this channel as a 3-wave move down. Oop, what am I doing here? 3-wave move down, bounce from that naked weekly. It was a daily, it was a weekly level. Now we broke out of the channel. So if we can back test this value area high, I think we're going to make it up to that liquidity and golden pocket at 69.5, 69.8-ish. And then Solana as well. Solana seeing a nice little move, breaking out of a lower channel, lower time frame channel. I posted about this being a corrective channel here. We broke out. We came straight up to 77, grabbed liquidity, or 76, excuse me, grabbed liquidity, and then we saw that nice move down. And I did long the back test of the value area low, and I took profit exactly at 76. I closed out the entire trade at 76. Overall, I'm still looking at potentially another new low on Solana. All right, let's get back to Bitcoin really quickly here. Let's check our order flow. So from the actual high, where's that right there? You can see this was where our actual high was made. Your CVD was about in this area. Now, I probably would go from this high on the CVD though, and we are on the verge of confirming another drive of bearish CVD absorption. You can see very clearly open interest is rising from that area. So if we start to kind of come above those highs again, we would be seeing lower highs in the price action, higher highs in the CVD on an increase in open interest, which is textbook bearish CVD absorption, which would be a very bad sign for the bulls. And if that absorption plays out, the target of that absorption is taking out these lows. But at that point, you'd probably look at even taking out the $58,000 lows. Yeah, that 4-hour, 8-hour bull div is probably going to give us some pump here. I agree, Crypto Clan World, but in what would be super, super nice, and let me go back to the 4-hour chart, because if we look at NAMI, which is much quicker to confirm, to get another local driver, I think that was on the 8-hour chart, to get another local drive of 8-hour bull div on NAMI would be even nicer, right? Because then that way you have the multiple drives. So we would have the very regional bull div, like from here all the way across, right? And then you would have the bull divs from this, and then you would have even bull divs here as well, confirming multiple drives. You can already see we have the money flow bull divs confirmed, and money flow was about to cross up into the green here. And if we even pull it back to that $59,000 low, multiple drives of bull div, 3 drives of money flow bull div as well. Actually, no, it'd just be local bull div on money flow, but still from 58 if we made a new low. But we haven't made a new low yet. We need to make that new low below 58,000. You exited all your puts today. I feel like downside is limited. Nice, Kara. Well, I do think that we are setting up some very bullish technical, indicators that we could get a bigger move to the upside. So I understand that. Do you see ETH going under 1,000? No, I don't, but ETH has been surprisingly weak. Like at this, let me go to the daily time frame. So you can see I put heavy spot buys here, and it's really a zone between the POC and the value area low. But this is our 6-year long range. Let me get rid of this small channel. Let me get rid of this. By the way, you can see we rejected straight from our 1-to-1 target, right? Look at this here. 3-wave corrective move, confirmed rejection from the 1-to-1. You now expect to take out that low. And that low is sitting at $15,005 on, or 1,505, excuse me, on Coinbase chart. So we would want to take out our low at 1,505. But on the higher time frames, if we go to the weekly chart, Ethereum is at a very crucial support level. If this range, this whole upper price action of the past 6 years, pretty much, going all the way back to, what is that? May of 2021. So 5 years, 5-year long range. We're coming to the macro support of the point of control and the value area low. And if we are going to remain macro bullish on Ethereum, you would expect to see buyers coming in at fair value and undervalued zone. We did last time. Look at the fair value. We saw the wick, the body candle closes there. Yes, we wicked one day to the value area low, but that from there you saw a new all-time high. So could we see again? And yes, you could come a little bit lower to take this liquidity at 1383. But I would say we really need to see kind of that support in here hold, and then we could see a big move up. Now, under 1,000, man, I mean, it's possible. You do have a weekly level around 1,000. There's a weekly level for you at 1,140. That monthly level's been tapped, it looks like, at 1,000. I would say you really want to see this zone between 1,500 and 1,400 hold. This overall zone in here. Maybe a little bit of a wick to grab liquidity at 1383, but this zone is our most important volume support level to hold. Let's see, do we see on NAMI, you see potential monthly bull divs not confirmed yet. Let's go on to the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, we already see bull divs that were confirmed on the weekly that gave us this push up, but that's already played out. So now we need to see bull divs, and unfortunately, we're not really seeing them on NAMI, but on Market Cipher from that low at 1,700 to the new current lows, you can see we have bull divs setting up very nicely on Market Cipher B. But once again, one drive of bull divs will always, not always, for a majority of the time, be overpowered by bearish money flow. And if we look at the money flow on the weekly time frame on Market Cipher, it is leaving aggressively on the weekly time frame. So yes, we do have bull divs potentially, but that bearish money flow. So we would want to see our weekly candle close green, and that would probably help to start to roll this over. It's only Tuesday. We have time. If we look at our daily chart, we are also setting up on Ethereum to take, but remember, because we rejected the one-to-one here, we're highly likely to take out our $1,505 low. So we would want to see bull divs as we're taking out that low. Okay, and we're coming down, we're setting up for that potential, but we're not seeing it yet. And we front ran it on Friday. Very key front run. Unlike Bitcoin, made new lows on Friday. It's just not looking the best for Ethereum there. Mark Dutch, much love to you. Welcome in. Ryan Hinson, good afternoon to you as well. Yes, please do hit the like button, guys. Please subscribe to the channel. Let me go to the Bitcoin chat or chart, and then I do want to take a second really quickly to shout out the partners, but we'll check this VWAP rejection. Yeah, we kind of broke out of this thing. Let's just see if we reject from VWAP. Let's see if we get another move down. And look at your money flow starting to roll over a bit here on the 15-minute chart, 12-minute chart. Let's go to the 5-minute and see if we see bear divs here. On NAMI, we're seeing some bear divs on the 5-minute as we're coming up to that VWAP. And we're even seeing 5-minute money flow bear divs. Very, very slight. The Bybit VWAP is about $200 higher. And same with the Binance VWAP. Let's see, guys. I mean, this is looking scary. First daily candle where we could be closing below the pitchfork. 4 attempts. 1, 2, 3, 4. Each time you pierce it, it gets weaker like a piece of paper. Today, we're seeing a big bearish engulfing candle. It would be super nice before the end of the day to SFP the low and get back above. If that happens, that would be hyper bullish for me. And we would be looking at the end of this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then get back up. Kind of have that inverse head and shoulders in here with daily bull divs confirmed. It could see a bigger move to the upside. Okay, guys, real quickly, I want to take a second to shout out the partners of the channel. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They're a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description below, you'll get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees, and you can actually earn up to 40% discounts if you deposit some larger amounts into the exchange. They're giving up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much volume you trade in the futures markets, the USDT futures markets. And that's not only Bitcoin, that's the altcoins as well. So it's a really good extra incentive just to trade on the platform. And they're giving some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry as well. $100 gets you a 50% deposit bonus, which is double what most exchanges do. They're giving you 20% deposit bonus up to $1,000 deposit, and they're giving you a 10% deposit bonus up to a $20,000 deposit, which is double what most exchanges will do. I've partnered with BYDFI to create that Telegram community where I've been keeping you guys updated all morning. Actually, you could have won that short trade from the rejection of the VWAP this morning if you guys decided to take that. I said, watch for the rejection here to take out the local low. And that was a 3-to-1, 3.33 to 1 risk to reward ratio I posted about in the chat. If you're interested in joining that Telegram, it's a private community, but it's free. All you need to do is join BYDFI using my affiliate link. And then once you've done that, click deposit a minimum deposit of $100 or more. You can deposit more if you want to get the bigger bonuses, but a minimum deposit of $100. Once you've done that, you click the Telegram link in the description of this video. And in that Telegram channel, you type in /verify and then your user ID, your BYDFI user ID, and that'll get you into the Telegram. /verify your user ID. I have a couple other partners of the channel. Blowfin is another non-KYC exchange. Links in the description. We have MEXC and Bybit. They're both KYC exchanges. Links are in the description for those. Those are ways to support the channel to say thank you. And then lastly, I have NAMI Trading, which is this momentum and money flow indicator you see at the bottom of your screen here. And I use this for confirmations to enter and exit trades. And I use it as we're coming down to support. So say as we're coming down to this support level, this naked monthly point of control, if I'm seeing bull divs on the chart, then I look to enter the trade. But if I'm not seeing the bull divs, I will hold off. Now, in this case, guys, I mean, this is such a big support level that I might attempt to take the trade even if I don't see the best confirmations, but we'll see if we get down there and once we get down there. But since I've been using NAMI for confirmation-based trading to enter trades, it's got me into the trades that are more likely to play out, and it's kept me out of the trades that are less likely to play out, and it's increased my profit margin. Really, in my opinion, it will pay for itself in time. If you're interested in purchasing NAMI, I've partnered with them to get you guys 50% off. So just click the affiliate link in the description. And when you're checking out on the website, you can type in Divine50 in the discount code promotion box, and you can get 50% off of NAMI. Okay. Let me go back to Coinbase. It looks like we are hitting the Coinbase VWAP. Maybe not quite yet. No bear divs locally anymore on NAMI because this momentum wave's higher. And actually what I would like to do is pull a micro channel here on that 5-minute up to that high from earlier today. Just looking at this kind of micro structure, you can see midline rejected. Now we're flipping it to support. So if we can hold it as support now, maybe we can work our way up to the top of the channel, which is going to be right around 59,000, which is where the Bybit and the Coinbase or Bybit and Binance VWAP are. We are coming up to that golden pocket right at the VWAP, guys. I would be very careful of a rejection from here. If we look at the high that was made this morning, that dead cat bounce high right at market open, we dumped down to make new lows. We're at that golden pocket retracement, which is also where our volume resistance, our intraday trend resistance is, which is what the VWAP is. Yeah, bulls waiting soon. 6 years AK ETH. Yeah, maybe eternity, right? Tiki Taku. I mean, ETH, you know, so many people had some crazy targets for ETH this cycle. I heard like $15,000, $25,000. I was really looking at it to top out between like 55 and 6,500. And it didn't even quite, you know, barely made a new all-time high. Oh, Mark, you're out of Italy, huh? I'm at the Slovenian border at the moment. Ooh, dude. No, I unfortunately I don't have any tips for you. Never been to Slovenia myself. I knew the girl from Slovenia, you know, the old girlfriend, but good luck to you, brother. I hope you're enjoying your time, Mark. Are you having fun traveling still? Like, that's awesome, dude. You're exploring so many different parts of the world. Tommy, bulls are pushing. Yeah, let's see here. We are seeing this move up that we've been seeing for the past 30 minutes is on a decrease in open interest. So really, it's a bit of a short squeeze, some late shorters. Gosh dang it. Let me show you guys that. You can see how the push up that we've been seeing for the past hour, I guess you could say. You're seeing your CVD go up, meaning market longs are coming in, but it's coming in on a decrease in open interest. So it's not really long positions that are stepping in. Like, the bulls are not stepping in to push the price up. It's more of shorts that are getting closed out, some late shorters. And you saw we had some late shorters in here. Shorts coming in, and those were new shorts coming in. So the people that were shorting literally the bottom today are just getting squeezed out a little bit right now. So it's not a healthy, strong move to the upside quite yet. And the thing is, guys, when a short squeeze, this is just a little micro short squeeze. When a short squeeze ends, if you do not see bulls stepping in, like we would want to see this short squeeze right now, flip the VWAP to support, and then longs coming in on the flip to support. But if we don't see that after a short squeeze ends, it generally falls right back down if you do not see new longs coming in to support that position. So let's see what we see over the next hour. Wow, Mark, that's awesome, dude. Wait, what did you see? Drop your own soap. Oh my gosh. I'm not on the receiving end. Man. That's awesome. Yeah, Crypto Wander, definitely. Let's see, where are you at here? There we go. All right. There you go, Crypto Wanderer. Mosquito spray, Viagra, and cops are present. Well, there you go, Mark. You seem prepared for it at least, right? You do. Yeah, look at this, guys. On the 1 minute, as we're coming up to this VWAP and the golden pocket, 1 minute bear divs are confirming here. Actually, even from this, not really from there, but let's see if we get that little rejection. I would actually want to hit the VWAP though. Cialis gives you better bang for your buck. Trying to close out your short. You want me? Where are you short from? Are you scalping this thing? Is that what you're doing? Doing some scalp trading in here? Let me pull that channel, that same channel we just pulled on the Bybit chart or Binance chart, and we'll see if yeah, your VWAP's even higher than that channel. Bulls really need to squeeze above this in order to see a bigger move to the upside. Of course, Crypto Wander, you've been here from day one, man. I appreciate you so much. Half a Cialis gets me through the weekend. Heck yeah, Mark. All right, let's check while we're waiting. Let me do this. I'll add an alert on the 0.6566. And let's check Uniswap. Let's see Uniswap. I don't even remember Uni USD. Man, this thing is just perpetually dumping, huh? This was your prior range. Your prior big range was from May of 2022 all the way to January of 2026, and you're losing that support level, that macro support level, volume-based support level. That's not a good sign. And now we're forming, after seeing an impulse down, you're forming this range in here. So this range is what you really want to pay attention to, is this guy. And you're even trying to close your first daily candle below the value area low of that range today. We rejected, obviously, on a lower high. That lower high was probably... Hold on, let me check this. That was a 44% dump to the downside, so you have to make sure that you're on log scale. Let's put that based off log scale. Yeah, and you rejected from your 0.786 in your value area high. When you rejected here on a lower high, you expected, if you lost the POC, which really that was a wick, so you didn't even really reclaim the POC, you expected to rotate back down to value area low, but you can see over the past week we tried to bounce and we weren't. And so now we're likely to take out those lows from a week ago. So we're likely to take out this low at 272.3. But honestly, the way this looks, I know that this is an aggressive impulse in here, but this looks like an ABC making a lower high. ABC, and you had that big explosion in your C wave. So it is likely you could come take out these lows at around, what, 232-ish? You already bounced from this weekly. That's the weekly we bounced from. Bounce from it, hold it in the back test. That weekly's been tapped with this week here, this push up. But what I will say is if you create another low in here, it would give you multiple drives potentially of bull div on the weekly. The only other thing you have is some liquidity resting at 176. And that's a pretty big dump to me. But you can see this, to me, almost looks like distribution in here. You know, like that proverbial left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Your neckline was kind of this bottom area, and you're starting to break it down, or you're starting to see distribution to the downside. You really don't have much down here, guys. As far as this, you know, you have a little bit of a range, I guess, in here. But there's not much else to keep you from coming down. I would look for, you know, maybe some sort of double bottom around that 232 area, 231.6. But because we're starting to see, and it's not confirmed yet, we still have a few hours, but if you see the first daily candle close below the value area low, Mr. Rekachun, you can see how the value area low of the past, let's see, going back to February, so 4 months, we're closing dailies below. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, just like the pitchfork guys with Bitcoin, 4 pierces of it, but no daily candle closes below it. Now we're starting to see that big push down. And if we close this daily below, you would at least expect to come out, take out that 272.3. We could pull a Fibonacci golden pocket here. Yeah, and you already bounced from that golden pocket as well. So you saw a failed bounce from the golden pocket. And if you if you close today's daily candle below 285.7, you're likely to continue down to 272.3. But the next level of support is probably this 786 around 256. Or you do have a new daily level that's at like 239. Let's throw that there. That's a new daily level. This weekly is old. It's been tapped, so I'm going to delete that now. And then we can look at our volume support levels in here. Yeah, you have a naked daily and a naked weekly very close to each other. And then actually this Fibonacci golden pocket that I just did and 786. Let's see if this was more than a 100% pump to the upside. So that was a 60% pump. So we need to take this fib and we need to make it not based off log scale. Dang. I mean, there's not really a whole lot of support down below you. You want to see an SFP of 272.3. If not, I would honestly be looking to come down further. Yeah, to that 886 would be a good area. 886 is actually a really nice level to look for bounces. If we're creating a bottoming range in here, an 886 bounce wouldn't be the worst thing to see. But if you bounce from that 886, you need to watch for a back test of the value area low and then a continuation to take out the range low. Money flow is leaving on the daily time frame again. You do not have the nice bull div setup that you do on Bitcoin. Possibly if you take out 272.3, you could have something, but it's not looking the best. And money flow doesn't look the best like it did on Bitcoin. Man, yeah. Unfortunately, like this does not look too good. Nowhere near as good as Bitcoin was looking. Okay, I was going to look at Turbo, and I'll do this really quickly, John. We broke this ascending channel. Look at confirmed 3-wave move. You break the channel down. You backtest the channel. You're rejecting. So honestly, I would expect to take out that low. So we can get rid of this channel because it broke down. First, let's go on to the 4 so we can get a better look at that. Yeah, you had this channel 3-wave corrective move, break it, come down. You kind of SFP'd the lows, gave you this move up. Now that move up, I will say this. This move up gave you a break in market structure. Let me get rid of these. So you can see how on the 4-hour time frame, you broke this lower high. Yes, it was just an SFP. Because of that, there is a slight chance you could make a higher low. So we would pull our golden pocket. You're losing the golden pocket. The next level to look would be that 786. Okay, Bitcoin's crossing. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to bust your eardrums. Money flow looks pretty good on the 5-minute here. Let's see if we're still seeing 1-minute bear divs. No, we've invalidated locally those bear divs on the 1-minute, and money flow looks pretty good here. So let's see. Now, if you start to lose the golden pocket, you could look for a short with the stop above that local high. At that point, I would be targeting at least coming down to the bottom of the channel. Okay, yeah, nice reaction so far. I don't like the way that money flow looks here. And let's check buy rate. Yeah, you're still, see, this was one of the shorts that I laid out earlier today. Reject the VWAP. And the first TP was to take out the local low. Your VWAP on both Binance and Bybit are at like 58,950-ish. And it looks like that's where we're going to come up to. That is going to be pretty much near the top of the channel. So I would be looking to continue higher because look at you flip that midline support. Yeah, let's see what we get here, guys. Yes, Mark, thank you so much. Guys, please do hit the like button if you get any sort of insight into the market from this live stream, or if you're just enjoying the live stream. What was that, your heart rate monitor or an alert? Maybe it was both, Mr. Ekachun. Let's look at our order flow. It's continuing to be a short squeeze. You see how we're continuing to dump on open interest here? So what I would, if you're a bull, you want to see us flip that Coinbase VWAP right now. And then you want to see some fresh longs starting to come in. Nothing yet. Yeah, Crypto Creek, maybe it's waiting till the next month to hit 57.9. You know, honestly, that front run is a bit disturbing, in my opinion. I know a lot of people are watching 57.9 as well. And there's, you know, at least on the Binance chart, Coinbase chart, we bounced exactly to the penny at $58,000. That is not a coincidence to me. That means someone probably had a huge limit order sitting there exactly at 58K to buy on spot. And that absorbed all that sell pressure and caused the bottom a couple, a week ago or so. So your 15-minute close technically very slightly above the golden pocket. Same with your 5-minute. That is actually, and it closed more importantly above the VWAP. So to me, it looks like we might see some continuation up here. And look at, we're bouncing from VWAP now. I wouldn't short this personally until we start to lose the 618 and maybe even close a 5-minute below, and then we could look for a bit of a short. But it doesn't look like that's going to happen. Is Tate long in 40x right here? Still no longs really stepping in. If we see this CVD get a bit higher and we're rejecting from the VWAP at 58,950, that's another area I would look for potentially a short to take out your local lows from today. Struggling a little bit here. Oh wow. He kept getting liquidated. Jeez. I don't understand why people don't at least learn the basics of stop losses before. I guess he's gambling more than trading, but he has the money to do that, and he's probably just also the views he gets from it probably pay for the loss. What other coin we were looking at? Solana. We were going to look at Solana. Yeah, the thing with Solana is we saw the SFP of 76, and look at what Solana likes to do on these bigger ranges. Let me go to the 4-hour chart. So I was looking for an SFP of the range highs at 97. We got that SFP, and then we made new lows. Now we're kind of chopping sideways in this range here. And you can see this upper range. We SFP'd the range high right into the value area high, right into a golden pocket. Now that golden pocket was hit already, but it's still like a zone, right? Because the pitchfork's up here around the $77 mark. But if you lose this POC at 73, then you would expect a rotation down, and you would expect to come to value area low and grab this liquidity also that's down there. Overall, I'm still looking at this as some sort of, 3-wave move in a W, 3-wave move in an X, and then a 3-wave move in a Y, a more complex WXY to potentially roll over and take out those $60 lows. And we have a naked monthly at 58.08 on Coinbase. I have alerts set on that 58.08. If we bounce from this POC, then I would expect that we're going to continue up and at least hit the $77 mark and actually hit the bearish pack test of the pitchfork. So far, it's trying to hold right now. Four-hour, you're not seeing any bull divs, but let's go. You'd have to go on to lower time frames to look inside of this. No bull divs on the 1-hour. you were seeing some bull divs. No, hidden bull divs. But all right, and then we can look at our naked dailies in here to see if there's anything in here that's going to reject us on a lower high. $75.42, there's a naked daily. And then that's probably going to be right around your 786 Fibonacci. So that's the zone I would look for a lower high. If we're going to, after SFPing the range highs from this local range, if we're going to reject, I would really be looking at 75.35 to 75.40-ish. We can get rid of this small channel. It broke to the upside. And then if we did that, this could be a wave 1, 2, and then you would expect probably that 3 to come down and sweep all of this. Maybe see a bounce in a 4 and then a 5. Or if the 3 is going to keep going a bit, you're going to back test that value area low as resistance and then see that 5 come in. And really, you would want to see an impulse to start this down. If the bigger W, X, Y is done, then this needs to be an impulse down. And because this SFP, the range highs with the potential of seeing a larger complex correction, this 786 and this naked daily really is a nice zone to potentially catch a short. I put alerts there, so if we're seeing some signs, some confirmations, we can look to enter a short there. Yeah, Sol is one of, you won't me. Sol is one of the ones that I'm more bullish on long term as far as use case and stuff goes. But the scary part was with Solana is on the weekly time frame, we saw the distribution up here. Like this was a distribution range on the weekly time frame. Tap 1, tap 2, tap 3. You broke your value area low of that range. So let me grab, if you take this range, you can see your value area low is at 122 and you broke it down and we're continuing to see distribution to the downside. And unfortunately, this could be a move all the way down to $30 because there's not a lot of support in this zone, right? You have your order block right in here and you can see you have that weekly level coming in around $57, 57.5. You have a naked monthly point of control there. But pretty much this zone in here between 61 and 57 is your zone of support that has to hold. And if it doesn't hold, you could see a quick move down to the 30s because there's nothing to keep you from going down there. You are confirming already because look at Market Cypher's confirmed the green dot. Well, the week hasn't closed yet, but bull divs on the weekly time frame. You can see multiple drives of bull div on the weekly time frame and potential money flow bull div on the weekly time frame. So I said a couple weeks ago, if we hit that $58 naked monthly point of control, I have some spot buy there. I do have some spot buy at the naked monthly at 58. And I'm comfortable holding that. Even if we drop to 30, I'm comfortable holding that at almost a 50% loss because it's a long-term area. And then, of course, if we get down to this $30 to $28 area, I would buy more. pretty much just looking at this as an impulse, right? A wave 1, here's your flat, and a wave 2, and then you have your 3, 4, 5. So you finished your entire impulse for the bull market on the weekly time frame, and then you correct down to golden pocket. That golden pocket's at $30. If you pull your Fibonacci golden pocket from the lows to the highs, you make sure that's on log scale, obviously. 31, really like 32 to 28. And if this zone of support does not hold, guys, you are going to see some harsh drops to the downside. Another reason why I was looking for the rejection, the finished WXY in here. Let me go to the daily time frame. Overall, seeing. Sorry, guys, I'm trying to clean this up. The overall, another reason why I was looking for a rejection around this $76, $77 area, because we lost the pitchfork that was holding for months. And so now if we see a 3-wave corrective move to backtest that pitchfork and then drop, you would expect to take out your $60 low. Man, even on the daily time frame, NAMI is confirming some bear divs now on the daily time frame. Between this high and the high we made yesterday, bear divs are confirmed. That is not a good sign. And these bull divs already played out with this move to the upside. Neil, good morning, man. Yeah, we can look at ZEC. Let's see here. ZEC. Let me check Bitcoin. Before we do that, I want to just tune in back to Bitcoin for a second. Oh, wow. We're seeing that rejection from the VWAP. Dang it. It would be nicer on the 3-minute chart if we could break these dual lows right here at 58,588. If we could break those and then see a small move up, we could look for a short, and then you'd be looking for something like that, right? But really the short was to, as soon as you lost that 618, and I was on altcoins, unfortunately, but like something like this, and then even targeting the bottom of that channel. But honestly, this, look at all 4 of these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is just liquidity that's begging to be taken. So overall, I'd be looking to come down to 58,000. Still not a lot of longs, fresh longs are stepping in here. And guys, if we don't start to see some longs stepping in soon, you could see this short squeeze end and roll over. Okay, let me just look ZEC real quick. ZEC USD. We are at a nice support level, that 379 naked weekly down to that 0.5 Fibonacci. You can see we're bouncing very nicely from that box we laid out last week. That was unfortunately though, like this move up from the dump a couple weeks ago from 250 all the way up to 540, it's a bit confusing because you could count this as some sort of contracting diagonal, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or some sort of diagonal, right? Motive wave. And if that's a motive wave, then this, you want to be corrective to either bounce from your naked weekly in 0.5 or from the liquidity at the golden pocket. That's why we were looking at those two green boxes. The scary part is you could also look at this more of a three wave corrective move, and then if that's the case, you will roll over and come down to 245, which was your 786 and a point of control of this lower range down here, or a point of control of a range. It was. It was this range. This range on Coinbase, the point of control is shifted. Let's see if it's now shifted back down. Okay. Oof. Not good that you're, after bouncing from our box of support, if you come up here and reject, I would expect continuation down to golden pocket. This is kind of your corrective channel that you've been following. After bouncing from that support box, you're breaking out. So we're fighting right now between getting above the POC and holding the back test of the channel. If we can hold this, then yes, you could see that break up. But if you fall back inside the channel, especially kind of after rejecting POC, I would expect new lows down to the golden pocket. And then what we could look at is, let's take off this more macro range, and you can just look at the corrective price action since that dump occurred a month ago. I'm not going to include the big wick in the dump, but I'm going to go over. Yeah, you're still below the POC. So we are bouncing from that support box, which would have been at least a nice scalp. But if you cannot get back above this POC at 415.8, you're more likely than not going to make new local lows. And gosh, this chart's getting messy as heck. Hold on, let me just go to Binance real quick. Yeah, we had the box here on Binance as well. Bouncing from that box. Naked weekly. But your next big support level still is that golden pocket. And you can see that golden pocket also has the bottom of the pitchfork band there. High time frame pitchfork band. And we had the channel pulled already. Actually, this channel is a little bit more accurate because I pulled it from the top to that lower high to that initial low. So we've been grinding sideways and down. And by the way, we had the rejection here at this purple box. This one held for a little bit, gave us a little move up. So yeah, you're back testing the channel breakout after bouncing from your support level. You need to get back above the POC. So like 417, 416 on Coinbase, it was 416. Binance is 417. If not, you're more than likely coming down into this zone. Value area low, golden pocket, pitchfork midline, not pitchfork band. And you'd probably see some sort of small bounce from the daily naked daily right in here. Yeah, we're okay. So we've officially taken out market structure on the 3-minute time frame. So now that we broke market structure bearishly on the 3-minute time frame, and we're rejecting from golden pocket VWAP, we can now look at coming up and look at, we even lost the midline, lost it, tried to backtest, and then now you break market structure bearishly. So let's get rid of this. And now what we could do is pull a Fibonacci here. And if we come up, it's really a zone between the Fibonacci and the 786. But if you come up to this zone, you could still look to enter that short position. That was your bearish market structure break. Let's see if we see any longs stepping in. And no, still no longs are stepping in here, guys. We're just, the fact that we're forming a range throughout today right above our liquidity level is not a good sign. Like overall on the more intermediate time frames, we are forming this range without taking liquidity today. It is not a good sign. Yes, it didn't hit it on Bybit. I know that, and it didn't hit it on Binance either. And of course, the channel's a little bit different on Binance as well. So could you bounce here and then make one more move up? And that VWAP should be coming in right around the top of the channel. I personally would not. I like the Coinbase levels better, so I'm going to follow Coinbase. Now, if you're looking at that lower high short, or right, because now we broke market structure bearishly, you could look for a short up in here. Unfortunately, it's going to be super low time frame, so you're only going to have the 1-minute chart to look at divs. But if you're doing something like this, you're grinding down, you bounce, and then you grind up to here with divs between these, you could look for the short. If you don't have the divs, you don't look for the short. The bear divs. Because right now, we're even forming some 1-minute bull divs. Lower lows into the midline. Higher lows here. Money flow still looks pretty good on the 12-minute. And let's go to the 15-minute. I don't like it. Yeah, please do smash the like button, guys. I know this is a bit of a weird live stream. I was going to look at a different coin too. XLM. I'm sorry, guys. I'll look at XLM as well. Quickly here. Dang. So XLM is now officially confirmed bearish market structure, right? With taking out this low at 18 cents. And we talked about if we don't SFP this low, that it was highly likely that we come down to 16 or 15 cents. But after this big impulse here, You're looking for a corrective move to either come down. We have our 786 down here, and your 1-to-1 and your 1.236 are lower. And if you come down to the 1.236, obviously it's going to be a flat. Today's push up is pretty nice. Get rid of this. And you are probably bouncing. No, not even from the golden pocket. Okay. You're bouncing from your previous range value area high. Right in there. So you broke out of the value area high with a high amount of volume, but you rejected from your prior range, your upper range. There's this bigger upper range. There's this sideways bottoming range. And then, so you broke out of the bottoming range, you back tested the POC of the upper range, and now you're seeing what looks like could be a corrective move to back test this value area high. It might hold on the back test of the value area high, but I personally think you're probably going to come a little bit lower. And you are starting to create some bear divs on the 4-hour here. Lower highs in the momentum waves, higher highs in the price action, and you're turning your golden pocket now into resistance, essentially. If you reject it, then you would probably continue down to this, which is going to be your POC in confluence with the 786, or in a zone with the 786. Actually, this one's a bit of a tough one here because you are breaking back into your volume profile. It's the daily candles what's going to be important. If your daily candle closes back above the golden pocket, like above 18 cents, 18.19, then you're definitely going to make it up. I shouldn't say definitely, high probability going to make it up to your POC at 19.15. But if this closes, you see how we have that big wick for the day now? If this closes below the value area low, essentially it's a bearish backtest of this value area low before continuing down. Money flow doesn't look the worst, though. And actually, what we can look at, you rejected from the previous range POC, you lost the value area low, you back tested the previous range value area low, and now you're coming down to value area high of your bottoming range. Let's pull a pitchfork of our bearish structure. Yeah, you can see you rejected the midline, come down, you held the band all throughout all of this, and now you're working your way up to the midline. So the midline is going to be where the daily candle close is important today. Because if you can start to close back inside of your volume profile and back inside of above this midline, you'll likely see continuation up. Here's your volume profile. Close below 18.15, 18.16, you're probably coming down into this zone. Close above it, you're coming up to, the POC, and I wouldn't quite go to value area high yet, but At least you might come up to your next major pitchfork level. Okay, Bozo, what did you say here? Let me see. Hey, bro, can you check OLZ monthly? I can't count. Is there a 1, 2? We are going down in a 3. You mean BTC or OLZ? BTC on the monthly. If anything, we're going to say all of this is a wave 1 here or an A wave, right? Because this was clearly an impulse. Impulse. You could say A, B, C, where you're going to come down a lot, 39 to 33. Or you're looking at like as far as a 1, 2, 1, 2, and this is the third wave. 4 or 5, maybe something like that. You could say it's too early to tell if that's a third wave yet. You would want to see it pass the 1-to-1 trend-based Fibonacci extinction. So you'd go from highs of A or 1 to the lows of A or B up to those highs. And you can see that's where this fib level is at, right? So 39 is your 1-to-1 target. 33 is your 1.236 target. But I'm looking at the count a little bit differently. I'm looking at that. Let's just go to the 3-day chart. As a different potential WXY correction. What did I just do? So you can see your 3-wave move down in a W, 3-wave move X up in an X, and then this whole thing being a larger 3-wave move down in a Y to finish a WXY. Now I understand, guys, that this W and X is your Y wave is way longer in time and price than your W and X, and that does lower the probabilities. It's not a hard invalidation. The other thing that Machi HK is looking at, which is totally valid in my book, is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 impulse in an A wave, 3-wave corrective move in a B wave, and then we would need another impulse in a C wave to come down 39, 33. Yes, Sudeep, I do prefer USD over USDC because it's spot. And we know that spot's what moves the market. You added to the short there. You won't me. That's cool. We are seeing that little bit of a bounce now. And let's see if we get up to this golden pocket and 786 zone now that we broke that market structure bearishly. This could be a zone to enter a short. Coming up there right now. I don't see bear divs on the chart. Nice rejection. All right, and we We're starting to see some shorts come in, actually. Guys, after that rejection, you saw some fresh shorts coming in. And this short squeeze could continue now because of that. You see on our CVD is going down for the past 20 minutes or so, 30 minutes. And it's on an increase in open interest. So shorts were coming in after rejecting from the golden pocket. That means if the bulls can get above that lower high golden pocket, if the bulls can get above this, we'll see the squeeze continue, probably up to like 59,000. So far, you're seeing the rejection. Now, if you take out this low, it's not going to be a good sign for the bulls. Awesome, Bozo. I'm glad that helps a little bit, man. Bozo A1. Yeah. Pretty nice rejection from that lower high golden pocket. Here we go, guys, because remember, this was a squeeze to the upside. Almost all of this past 3 hours, 3 hours, was a squeeze to the upside on a decrease in open interest. So the shorts that kicked in just now, if they're able to maintain, the bears will be taking back control after just a little bit of a short squeeze. If bulls can step in, then you're going to see this short squeeze continue. But if the bulls are stepping in, you want to see an increase in open interest here, and you want to see long stepping in here. So far, we are not seeing that. At least, if you're a bull, at least you're not seeing bearish absorption here. I want to check the USDT chart real quick because I want to see if it came and took out those highs at 9.5. Not yet. And guys, this just looks corrective to me as well. One, two, three, four, and then we're looking to come up one more time. And within your third wave, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is there overlap though? There is. Maybe. You'd have to say this is a contracting diagonal then. And remember, that's that same kind of channel. We can pull that same kind of channel here. You're trying to break out of it. And if you start to break out of this corrective channel, it's going to come take out these highs most likely. But the fact that this was a 3-wave corrective move to backtest value area high, you expected to take out these highs, which we have done already. Let's go to the daily to get a better look at this. But yeah, I mean, it's so highly likely for us to come take out our prior bear market highs on USDT. Accumulation right in here. You're seeing expansion. As far as Wyckoff. Now, at the same time that Bitcoin is pretty much confirming daily bull divs. You can see here on the USDT chart, we are confirming already bear divs. Bear divs confirmed. So if we can grind up and make that one more local high to take out those double tops, we could see that reversal happen on Bitcoin and USDT. Bitcoin pumping, USDT dumping. But we would want this to be, 1, 2, 3, 4. We would want to get one more little push up in here. And that could take a few days, right? Because look at the first push up took 1, 2, 3 days. 1, 2, 3, 4 days. So yeah, you could see in this week, maybe ending the week, SFPing kind of chopping for the weekend, and then we could see a dump. Guys, I do have a pretty sharp cutoff here in about like 15 minutes. I got to get going here. Personally, for me, I'm not looking to trade anything with Bitcoin until if we SFP the lows into that naked monthly, I will take that long trade. I will let you guys know if I take that long trade in the Telegram. But as far as shorts go down here, it doesn't look good that we're front running. So yes, could we see another rejection and another big drop? We could see that. I would personally, if you're going to short, you have to make sure you're using good risk management. Like this morning when we shorted here, our stop was above that local high. We were looking to take out that local low. Now, if you're shorting, then you're going to have to make sure that, like if you're shorting this, for instance, short here, stop is going to go above the local high, and I would be looking to take out the lows pretty much. And at that point, you're so close to this 58, at least there. There is a real chance, though, you keep pushing up, especially because the other VWAPs are higher. So the next zone, if we break above the Coinbase VWAP, the next zone to look for me personally for a scalp short, just to take out today's lows, would be this area between really like 58,960 to 58,9. And you would probably see something like where you're going to actually flip this midline again and then come up before seeing that big breakdown. These shorts are going to have a pretty sharp cutoff in about 14 minutes, 15 minutes. Let's see, man. Who knows what's going to happen here? The order flow is not looking as bearish as it was earlier today. Earlier today, we were seeing that bearish absorption. And we still could see that, by the way. Like, you could still come all the way up to the Bybit VWAP. You would still be making a lower high. And if this makes another higher high here, and you're seeing higher highs and lower highs, that is going to be some bearish CVD divergences. You would want to see your open interest increasing. And you still technically would be, as long as it's above these general lows here. Yeah, of course, Crypto Wanderer 5813, man. Please do subscribe to the channel, guys. Please do smash the like button. And remember, if you do want to join the Telegram, like when I'm not streaming or when I'm not making videos, I try to keep you guys updated in that Telegram. All you have to do is join BYDFI using my affiliate link in the description. Deposit a minimum deposit of $100 or more. Once you've done that, you can click the Telegram link in the description of the video. And in that Telegram verify channel, you type in /verify and then your BYDFI user ID, which is probably going to be a string of letters and numbers for you guys, but that'll get you into the Telegram. And I am going to try to start covering if Bitcoin does start to see like this macro bottoming formation in our zone of support below us. I'm going to be looking at a lot of the altcoins for potential swing positions as well. Some of the altcoins are coming down to nice support, like Ethereum. It is still in that zone, right? Between the POC and the value area low of a 5-year long range. Man, I don't even like on Ethereum how this looks like a 3-wave move. And now if we start to break that local low just below us, it's far more confirmed to be a 3-wave move, and you're going to take out the lows. I mean, it's already likely to be that because you're already likely to take out your lows at 1505 because this was a 3-wave corrective move and you've taken out this low. And we would be looking on Ethereum at 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a low of 5 to take out this low. And you're probably looking at bouncing from the value area low or grabbing liquidity. The liquidity was at 1383. And the value area low is coming in at 1440. And you're below, look at on Ethereum. Let me just hide the 5-year long range. Simple analysis on Ethereum is clearly this was impulsive down. Then you see a 3-wave corrective move and you reject straight from your 1-to-1 and 1.236 target zone. After that, you're seeing what looks like an impulse 1, 2, 3, 4, and your 4th wave is rejecting from your small range value area low after losing it. Rejection, rejection. Yeah. Now, if we can dump down pretty quickly, you would be seeing bull divs between the low from last Friday to the new low. And then you would be seeing bull divs on lower time frames as well between the low from last Thursday to the, so I guess that was from Friday, June 5th. So from the June 5th low to the new low, you would see bull divs, and from last Thursday to, whenever the low is going to be made. So we have some nice bullish technicals setting up here, but they're not quite, as far as the Elliott wave analysis goes, we need some more lows on the altcoins, on Bitcoin, and we need one more high on USDT. Near, I did get an alert on Near earlier today. So Near is finally coming down and hitting, it's been in this kind of bottoming range right at the pitchfork midline, excuse me. Let me just delete this for a second. All right. Oh, and by the way, last Friday, we were looking at that bounce on Near from this level to take out this high. It was a scalp trade, and look at what we did. We bounced directly from that level. Go watch last Friday's live stream for a long, and we were looking to come up and take out this high and really come up to back test that value area low that we lost. This is the upper range. So that was a good trade that played out if you guys caught that. But the fact that now we are back testing the value area low and rejecting, you're expecting to take out the low from Friday, June 26th. And coming down, remember I said that, what was it, 174.5? You can see I have the alert set. It's a naked daily point of control. But even better to me is between 171 and 169. See, the same long we were looking at last week. Last Friday, we were looking at taking a long from the golden pocket value area low. At the time, golden pocket value area low was there, and we were looking to take out that high. And even to me, like, this looks like we need, on the 1 hour chart, 1, 2, 3, 4, and we need to come and take out this low. This low is so close to our naked daily point of control. If you SFP that low, you're going to hit the naked daily. So that's why I have an alert set here. Yeah, when do we drop to 50K, man? Well, we don't even know if we're going to make it down to 50K. We got to still make it down to 57.9 or 56K. I don't know if we are. Personally, I think this zone of support that we're in could hold, because we're seeing high time frame bull divs now on the chart. But I would expect at least to make to take out 58K. I want to take out 58K, and then depending on how we look once we start to get into this zone, I will be looking for some swing long opportunities. That doesn't mean swing longs to new all-time highs. That doesn't mean swing longs up to 100K. It just means we could get some big moves, at least to take out 67.2, 3, and maybe even higher. Yeah, if we close the daily chart, you know, it's not closed yet. We haven't closed it yet, but yes, at this rate, it's a very high likelihood that we are going to close the daily below. For me, the big chart to look at, guys, is closing the daily below this pitchfork. This is our multi-cycle pitchfork, and if we close the daily, yeah, 59.5, let's say, around 59, below 59.5, it does not look good. XPL chart, yeah, XPL. USD. I'm pretty sure I've done analysis, yeah, on this coin. Look at, guys, we were looking for the ABC to reject from this area and then come down and take out these lows. We did do that. So that was perfect. And look at, we ended right between the 1-to-1 and the 1 dot, and your golden pocket here, between the 1.236 and the 1-to-1, took it out, and now we've dropped. So that short played out. We actually looked for the short right here, and then we got the back test here to drop. We can look at this range now. So let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. And this bottoming range is what we need to look at. So we bounced from the value area low a week ago. We came up to value area high. We're clearly rejecting value area high. And if we close today's daily candle below the POC, you're going to really expect another rotation down. And at that point, I would be looking to take out those lows at 81 cents, or sorry, 0.825. And then you would be looking, because we can say that this looks impulsive. So we can pull our golden pocket from the low to the high of that move. Put on our golden pocket. That's 105% move to the upside, so we have to make sure that golden pocket's on log scale. All right, so what we could see in the next few days is, because this looked impulsive here, we could be looking for a 3-wave corrective move down to the golden pocket where it holds, and then you see continuation up. So knowing that we have the SFP at 0825 into our golden pocket at 079, it's a zone, of course, but you could be looking for an SFP of this low into golden pocket. I would be looking for bull divs and like I would actually even just play this super small sideways range in here. Yeah, you lose that, you're likely to come take out that low and really hit the golden pocket. And look at your 1-to-1 is a bit lower than the golden pocket. I don't like how low that is. Yeah, you might close today at this naked daily. But overall on XPL, you just need to pay attention to this bottoming range. The fact that we rejected on an ABC up here was likely that we were going to take out this low. We've done that now. And because this could be impulsive here, I mean, this would be a nightmare to count as an Elliottian. But let's just look at the volume as well. Man, some huge buys came in right there. But you did see a nice spike. It's really hard because volume is generally super low on this anyways. But yeah, you did see an increase in this move to the upside. I would really pay attention to that 0.825. And then the golden pocket at 079 and 077. If you're seeing bull divs as you come down there, and I would want to see them on the 4-hour and under. So as you're working your way down here, between this low and the new low, you would want to see bull divs. You'd want to see if this bottoms out, bull divs on the chart. And then, of course, on NAMI, you would be seeing bull divs between, let me clean up this chicken scratch. On this move down, you would want to see bull divs between that low and this low, and you already are kind of seeing that. And some weird money flow bull divs, but yeah, but guys, let me check Bitcoin real quick. Let's see here. It looks like we are getting a rejection from that VWAP. Yep. So that was our short, guys. We pointed that out in the stream. Now, I kind of missed that because I was looking at some altcoins. But remember, that was our lower high golden pocket on the day into your lower high golden pocket into your VWAP. And remember, we already rejected the VWAP once today and made new lows. So if we reject it again, we can expect new lows. So now we keep an eye on $58,000, $57,900. I have alerts set. I am still looking for the long position. If we bounce from the bottom of this channel again, I would prefer not to. It doesn't matter what I prefer. Yeah, we're probably not going to. You might see a super small bounce. You might see something like backtest POC and then lose it. But to me, it's likely we're going to come down and make new lows. Guys, please do hit the like button on your way out of here. Yeah, you can see we're losing the midline. So lost the midline, flipped it to resistance, and now we're continuing down. Also, I pointed out earlier in the stream that after we broke market structure bearishly on the 3-minute time frame, we broke market structure bearishly. I pulled the golden pocket 786. I said this was your short, and guess where we hit? Right into that short. So we could have shorted here, we could have shorted here. It happens fast on these super low time frame scalps. You really have to be paying attention, and you have to be ready to pull the trigger. What's this blue line? This blue line is the daily VWAP. It's just, if you go onto your indicators and you type in VWAP, it's just your volume weighted average price. And then you just want to make sure you're on session. So if you come in here to your VWAP, you just pick session. And then I also turn off my bands. These are multiplier bands. I turn them off. I just like to look at the VWAP only. Guys, remember, if you do want to get updates while I'm not live, join the Telegram. All you have to do is, after registering with BYDFI using my affiliate link and depositing the minimum amount, you click the Telegram link, and in that Telegram Verify channel, you type in /verify and then your BYDFI user ID, and that'll get you into the Telegram. But I do got to get going, guys. I hope you all have a good day. I will be live streaming Thursday and Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I will see you guys tomorrow or in the Telegram. Much love to you all. Thank you all for joining. Thank you for hitting the like button, and thank you for the support.